Question. Hi everyone, this is Melissa Kotter and we're so fortunate today to be able to hear from our grandparents. So Edwin sponsored us and Chuck and Tammi Dick Gates, who are Ambassador Double Diamonds from Helena, Montana. They sponsored Ed and Rebecca Weems. And as you all know, they are coming out to tour New Zealand and Australia starting May 16 in Christchurch and finishing up in Sydney May 27th. We're really excited because today will be our team training, and given that they have a house full of 75 people on the team training date, they've agreed to do this recording for us so that we can get to know them a little better and create the excitement to be able to buy your tickets for these events, and more importantly, bring your team along and as many guests as possible, because you don't want to miss out on these two speakers. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Tammi and Chuck Gates from Helena, Montana.
Hello, everyone.
So we're actually going to, at this point, turn our videos off and just put a profile picture up so that you guys get a clear audio recording, okay? So we'll be right back at you.
Thanks a lot, Tammi. So what I have done is today we're asking Chuck and Tammi just a couple of questions so we can get to know them really well. And one of the first questions that pops into my mind is when they first came across the business model, the network marketing business model. So I wanted to have you all hear about their experience and their history in this industry.
Well, I was raised like a lot of other men and women in my age group. I'm 59 this year, and I was raised to go to college or university, get as much schooling as my parents and I could afford, and then when that was over, get the best dollar per job that I could find, have really good work ethics so that I could build my resume and get more dollars per hours and better jobs. I actually met my husband Chuck when we got married in the late 70s. And when I met him, he was also good. He said, "Oh, no, Tammi. Working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, will never get us our hopes and dreams for our family." And so Chuck actually introduced me to a non-traditional way of earning income, and tried a number.
Yeah, so I was actually introduced to network marketing, which was then only called multi-level marketing, back in 1975. And so that kind of tells you, and I'm a year older than Tammi, so it tells you how that's been. But what really attracted me was the benefits, the lifestyle, and the low dollar entry level to participate. And then the question came that if others do this, why not me? You know, why not be able, if others have already done this before, why not me? And when you compare, it doesn't matter what you compare to the network marketing business model. It doesn't matter what occupation, what career, how much schooling. None of them give the same level of benefits or the possibility with no glass ceilings for the and freedom, or is actually even growth, because network marketing, if you're with a good company, you're not just going to do business within your own town or community, state or province. It's going to grow, and if it's a good company, it's going to grow worldwide. And so that's really that's why to make the decision. That's why I made the decision a long time ago.
You're both definitely pioneers in the industry, coming in as long ago as you did. In terms of where we're at now, the industry has changed a lot, hasn't it? So if you don't mind just sharing a few words on what you've seen and how we've got such a professional business these days compared to when you started.
Oh, what a good question, because when Chuck first introduced me to network marketing, I thought this can only be the next best thing to purse snatching. And I didn't really view it as a profession. And that's what I'm aiming towards in my life, was a career and a profession. But today, network marketing is truly a profession. And professionals, and we can have a career with network marketing. And you know, it's an industry and a profession now that has earned the respect across the globe. And you know, it's even way easier to do our business because of where technology has advanced now. And so it's really exciting to be living in this day and age of network marketing.
Yeah, you know, I think that the thing is just to go back and for instance, when I started, of course, there was it was actually even before there was videotape, and so everything was either done by telephone or actually in the mail. And then when it came to that point of even sending a videotape or a cassette tape, if you will, you had to duplicate it or pay somebody to duplicate them, pay the postage, take it to the thing. And for instance, for us to send you information in Australia, you wouldn't have got it by the time it was all done, you wouldn't have got that information maybe for, you know, a couple of weeks, if that. And now with the touch of them, be doing this kind of communication right immediate. The world has changed. This is the time for this industry. It's going to continually get bigger and easier to do from here on out.
And you're both living in a fairly rural community in Montana. So for you to be both traveling the world and 7-figure income earners, you get to see the massive changes in this industry across the globe. So you'd certainly have the experience to comment in that regard. And what I wanted to do now is set the scene for your entry into ASEA. And in doing so, I was hoping for you to talk for a minute or two about what life was like just before ASEA came into your lives.
Because we've been in the industry, we were with a company for 18 years. We'd made it to the upper levels in that company. We were diamond distributors. We had earned quite a bit of money at the time, right at $3 million in income. However, and so where we felt we had a stable income, we gradually over time watched that income, even though we were working just as hard or harder than we had worked, are seeing that it wasn't their vision anymore. They were being felt that they'd been slighted. And so when we were introduced to this company, our income had went down to the level where we knew we needed to do something because the other company was not where we saw that held long-term future for us. And Danny Robinson gave us a call a couple of nights, right? And asked the company and if we would take a look at it. And at that point, she asked us to listen to the phone with Alan Noble. Many of the people on this call here might be aware of Alan, but Alan, we talked to him personally, and then he was doing a call from Belfast, Ireland. It was Christmas time, and he was doing a call, which at his time, at 8:00 in the morning, that he was holding the conference call. And I listened to that call, and Tammi listened to it. And I said right then, if everybody heard what we just heard on that call, there's going to be people getting into this business. And And that was the point of knowing this is something that's going to go forward. I see the sincerity, and even if half of what we've heard is true, this company is going to set records, and we should be a part of it. And so, yeah, things were getting kind of bleak before ASEA came, because we were faced with possibly losing our home to foreclosure, because our bills, when our income went down, didn't. They still stayed the same. Where they were, the money was plentiful before. Now the bills were very plentiful, but not the income to support it.
Right. We definitely have residual bills in life, that's for sure. And in terms of one thing you mentioned, it broke up a little bit, but you were approached a few days before Christmas. And so for people out there who think, oh gosh, it's a couple of days before Christmas, I better not reach out and call anybody because they're all in holiday mode, or they're all stressed, they wouldn't want to do anything or listen to me or listen to what I have to offer them before Christmas. Bart and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you two being approached a couple of days before Christmas. When I say wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be part of the ASEA family. So you've really debunked that one as an excuse for people. And in terms of the timing, I guess it couldn't have been more perfect given the circumstances of what life was like before ASEA. And what we'll do is we'll transition into what life's been like since ASEA. But before we do that, I wanted to see what was the defining moment? What was it that made you say yes to ASEA? Like absolutely yes, you would never look back.
Well, Melissa, I made a list of requirements that if we were to continue in the profession of network marketing, that we didn't want to budge on. And the number one thing was the integrity and experience of the management team at corporate. And we wanted to know that we were working with people who were at the top of their career game, not someone who was just working at ASEA because they had another job, but someone who had purpose and passion in doing what they were doing. We also wanted a product that nobody else has, that everybody needs, and that people would pay for even if they weren't building a business, that they would be on our product. We wanted field leadership training and support that was free, simple to access, 24/7 for everyone. And we wanted leaders in the field who knew what they were doing and could train a team of people coming up. And so when we found ASEA, it's like everything on our checklist, we were able to check off. And so the reason that's important now is because even the newest person in ASEA can make it as big as their hopes or dreams take them, because everything's in line. And I often analyze or equate it to, like, instead of taking a machete and chucking through a jungle of trees, the freeway has been built. The highway is there, and we can all just get on and turn our cruise control up as high as our life and dreams can make it, right?
Well, absolutely, and you've definitely been doing that, both of you. I know you just recently went on a service mission to Africa. You've just gotten back from, so you're certainly living that life and leading by example. And when it comes to the list that you created, I think it's important for people to realize that not always in life do you need to know what you want. Sometimes knowing what you don't want is a good motivator as well. So part of your list would have been based on knowing what you just weren't going to tolerate anymore. And being pioneers in the industry, you knew what you were looking for, and based on that, you made an educated decision, having taken in all the information. So with that being said, when you started with ASEA, how did you give yourself the best chance for success? How did you set yourself up in your ASEA business?
Well, I think the one thing that we did is right from the very beginning, we treated it like a business. We didn't treat it that let's take a stab at this, or this may bring us a little bit of money. Let's throw a little bit of work at it and see what comes out. We had made a decision, and we practice. A lot of people practice what we call the A-lift process, and we do a call here in the States called the charge-up call. Well, that first letter for A-lift is attitude, and we went at it with an attitude that, hey, we need to absolutely pull out all the stops. We need to let people know we're serious and we're committed to this. And we need to go at it with the kind of work ethic that we have to make this work. This is what we want to do for a living. We don't want to go get another part-time job and work at this a little bit. We've already known what it's like to be able to do this full time. And so we went at it with that kind of work ethic, and we encouraged that type of work ethic to other people that were going to come behind us.
And as well, Melissa, we really, really, really believe with every fiber in us that if we tell someone that ASEA can make a difference for you in the opportunity and the business, that's the truth, right? We're not hyping anybody. We're not telling a lie. We believe it as well. And we love to get underneath other people and work like it's our own business with them and for them. And we've actually been able, through doing that, to see ASEA change other people's lives in really big ways too. So I say that to say it's just not the people at the top. It's everyone. I met a woman recently who was on United States Social Security pension, and so was her husband, and that was their income. And then her husband died, and she was left with less of an income. But through helping her build her ASEA income, we were able to replace her husband's Social Security pension and even bring her a bigger income. We have another family who lost his 50-year-old retirement through some unfortunate circumstances, and we were able to get underneath them and help them build their ASEA business so he could replace that retirement. We have another family who drove one of the most dangerous roads in America at 4 o'clock in the morning and again at 8 o'clock at night, and his wife just prayed all day long that he could get back home, and we were able to replace his income too. So it's like beyond a business for yourself. If you ever thought you could help someone, you can. You know what? So Melissa, here's the deal. ASEA helps relieve and eliminate a lot of health challenges and problems, right?
Right.
Our product does. However, a lot of those health challenges and issues are created by stress, by financial stress. And so we can help. I mean, we don't just have to put a Band-Aid on the health issue by reversing it with our product. We can actually implement a permanent solution to people's stresses and finances in their double-edged sword. We have a double whammy, and we just need to go out and tell more people about it.
Well, I know that you two are very compassionate human beings, and you're very driven by seeing other people's lives change and see them achieve things in life that they never actually ever thought was possible. So when it comes to staying motivated in this business, because it's life, we have good days, we have not so good days. We meet people who are completely open to taking a look. We meet other people who try and talk us out of pursuing our career with ASEA. And so when it comes to your motivation levels over these years, how many years have you two been involved for now? I mean, since the beginning, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we found ASEA when they were 6 months old. So we've been involved for about 7.5
Years.
years now.
So what
Yeah,
keeps
and, one of the things there, Melissa, is what keeps people motivated. If something isn't moving forward, people have a tendency to walk away from it or get bored with it. And so success breeds success. And success creates motivation. And when people have that type of success and experience happening on a regular basis, it's easy to keep them motivated. And so that's the thing, is that, and the thing with that is, it's interesting. You'll hear a lot of different sayings in the industry, and one is that a lot of times your people will do what you do. And so it's almost like osmosis. Even if they don't know what you're doing, if you're not doing anything, they're probably not doing anything. And but success works from the top down, but it also works from the down and the bottom up. And so success, once you pass success on, it's passed back to you as well. And so it's an interesting circle that happens, and that does keep people motivated.
Oh, definitely. I have a vision board here next to me in my office, and it says the hand of the giver is never empty. And so that's basically what you're talking about when it comes to sharing the gift of ASEA, sharing the gift of these molecules, and knowing that will come back to us. Not that there's an expectation it has to, but it does. And you two are living testimony of that cycle of success, because you give so much and you've helped so many people. And it must be a really beautiful position to be in, to know that, in the last 7.5 years, you've changed so many lives. So I can't even imagine. I mean, we know on our level of success, but from where you're standing as well, that must feel so good. There mustn't be anything better than that.
Well, and it's something that's open to each and every one of us. I know that if any of the listeners, if we ask them, everyone's motivation is to help other people. Mm-hmm. And we have such a gift with ASEA. And we really honestly can't wait until we get to come and meet everyone in Australia and hug people's necks that we already know, and just figure out how together as a team we can all link arms and help all of the people that we all know out of their situations. Because ASEA honestly is a gift and a treasure that's open to each and every person who just wants to open the present, right?
Right.
Yeah, and the thing that you talked about there, I can say that we really are proud of our success, but we're proud because we're as proud of the team that's helped us get there. And this isn't being prideful, it's being grateful, because nobody builds this by themselves. If they're going to have a business, they're going to have a team of people underneath them who have a team of people underneath them. And so it is absolutely not being prideful. It's being proud of the people that work every day and work hard, and proud of people that see the vision and have a heart to help other people to pass this vision forward, as well as the business opportunity. And so, the thing is I guess there's so much gratitude that comes from working with other fellow like-minded human beings, that alone it feels like we get all of these hugs and thank yous and get to watch all these blessings happen for people, and they're going to pay us too. It's overwhelming how wonderful this business model, this company is, and what the future is for everyone that decides to participate.
Well spoken, both of you. You're 100% right. And something that pops into my mind is we've got people who first come into ASEA and they say, I'm going to put the products on trial, and if I don't get a result, I'm not going to talk to anyone about that. So when it comes to advice you can give for people who expect an absolute miracle on the technology literally overnight, do you have any words of wisdom or personal experiences that you can share with us so that they can break through and truly see the gift of what they're being offered?
Yeah. Well, I would just say, no, we didn't wait for a product experience before we moved forward. We understood the science and the breakthrough of what the patents really meant. And this is big. You know, what they've accomplished here is huge. And so we didn't sit back and say, hey, we're going to wait and see if you guys are telling the truth, or if your patents are really valid, or if these people that have told us what's happened to them, if they were just making up stories, or we could read it in their eyes, we could sense it in their voice. We knew they were telling the truth. And so, and of course, we did have product results as well. But as many people maybe know, you know, Tammi didn't have a major product experience that I had. She hadn't had it until 11 months into us working with the SIA. And so if we had waited for those 11 months on her to have a major product experience, she had a lot of great things that did happen, but nothing major. But if she would have waited and I'd have waited, we'd have waited and missed out on $45,000 of income before she had her major product experience. But in that process of that time, we witnessed hundreds of major breakthroughs for other people that we had shared our heart with and this product, and they went on to do the same and saw that ripple effect going into place in the business model, doing what it's supposed to do, duplicate.
That's such a powerful story, and we share Tammi's story a lot, and we hope when you're out here, Tammi, you'll expand on that for people who don't know your situation when it came to the injury that you sustained and that you didn't wait. Sorry?
Yes, I
Thanks.
will.
Looking forward to that, because we all know that this technology is not on trial. It's absolutely not on trial. So when it comes to advice for people taking a look at this, for them to look past that, and this is pretty hardcore, but there's somebody that we know who really sees that people who won't look past that, in a way, there's a level of selfishness involved, because this technology may be able to help somebody that they know. So look forward to hearing more about your powerful story when you come out here. And I wanted to transition into words of advice for someone starting out new in a SIA. So given that you've seen so much change in this industry over so many years, particularly even with growth and expansion globally with the SIA, what words of advice would you give for a new person starting out?
The one thing is momentum. You know, do what we did. Treat it like a business. Treat it with respect. The big thing is you've got so many great tools and leaders and people that are your team members that, you know, what you're doing is you've joined a team, and it's not to be taken lightly. It's those team members, the people that have came before you, the people that are already in the game. They're here to give not only support, but they're there to give direction and really help you. So if you're not utilizing the team support and help and the tools, you're working way too hard, and you're probably not going to get to where you'd like to get. So make your job easier, ask for help, plug into the system. It's a well-oiled machine that it already works. You don't have to reinvent it. Get good at using what already works here. And then you can, if you want to tweak it or come up with your own protocol of how people should get started, then do it. But the big thing is come in with excitement, go at it with momentum, use other people that have already went before you to help you lead the way, to bring others to the table to see what it is we have.
And Melissa, I would say come to the events that we are promoting in May. Get yourself to whatever event you can find to get your way to, but look at all of the cities on the tour and ask yourself, who do I know in those cities? And get other people to those cities and those events, even if you can't attend. And we'll all do the heavy lifting for you and report back to you what happened.
Thank you, because I think what people need to understand is, Tammi, your strategic business sense, the way you've both built this business model together, the success that you've had, people need to come and hear your stories. They need to meet you. Chuck, you are a walking library of testimonials when it comes to you just for some reason seem to retain people's experiences, which is really a gift. And together, when it comes to words of advice and how to set people up correctly, and the insights and the experiences that you've had with particularly the last 7.5 years on your shoulders with ASEA, people need to get to these corporate events so they can see that. Because what happens when people meet you two, their beliefs become a knowing, and then they're unstoppable. And that's why we're so privileged and honoured to have you both to come down here and do another crazy whirlwind tour of Australia. They need to get your hugs. They need to meet you both, and they need to see how it's possible to become a 7-figure income earner a year in ASEA, and what steps need to be in place to do that. They can't get that sitting at home watching television. And for them to come and bring people in their team and bring guests, they need to be there to experience you too. And so I just wanted to really put that out there, because that's extremely important. It's a gift to have you visit down here for us, and we're really looking forward to it. So thank you for that. So I wanted to just quickly move on to 2 final questions. And what do you both see for ASEA's future?
Well, the thing it's hard to describe this, but the ASEA's future is big, and it's bright. They're growing very quickly, but it's controlled growth, a sustained growth, that they don't go into places and go into something if they don't know they can't sustain it. And that's good business management, and it's to be respected. It comes a lot from the founder, Bertus Norton, being a strategic planner who was with Kraft Foods. And there's no reason to go in. It's just like, why go into business if you're not going to stay into business? And why go into a country if you can't sustain that country or have continued growth in that country? And so many companies go into places very quick, and then they find out they weren't prepared to really go into that, and now they've literally been kicked out of the country because they couldn't sustain the business model, or they've let those people in that country down. And now, so ASEA doesn't do that. ASEA's bright future, the destiny, if we could all foresee what the years are going to look like, knowing what this technology brings, the lives that are going to be changed, the medical professionals whose eyes are going to be opened, everything in the athletic realm, everything in anti-aging, and seeing literally things reversed that were given just very dim prognosis for completely turned around. That's going to continue to go. The thing is that, and then again, is to know what we saw in the very beginning is that if this was in the hands of other corporations, if this was in the hands of people that, the product's a winner. The product could win anywhere, but in the wrong hands, this product could be literally never grow if it wasn't in the right hands, and it really is. And that's what's neat about this is we get to invite who we want to come to the dance. We get to invite who we would like to bestow this gift to pass the word on. And the corporate has done that they're not, when they hire somebody, it isn't just because they need to fill a position. They spend the extra time and money to hire people before they need them that are capable of doing the job and handling the type of growth that they're expecting. So ASEA is in a wonderful place. And boy, I can't even imagine, if you think this has been 7 years, and just like where you and Bart have came in such a short period of time, and what's it going to look like in a few short more years for you, for Australia, for New Zealand. It is just flown amazing where it's going. So very exciting.
Thank you, Chuck. And particularly with being on the cusp of Asia opening, we are all globally in the best position we could possibly be in when it comes to being able to really capitalize on that momentum. So thank you both. Were you going to say something, Tammi?
No, I was just going to agree. It's so true. ASEA last year, this year, we were scheduled to do $80-85 million, and it's now known, it's now a fact based on our brilliant executive management that we're going to break the $100 million mark this year. And for network marketing companies, we know that means that they could grow even north of 20% a month. And just given our entrance into Asia and the Asian markets, at conventions, some really exciting announcements are going to be being made. And so you want to be on the forefront of that too. So I just want to put a plug in for convention as well, and make sure if it's at all possible. I know it's a long way and a lot of expense, but it'll be worth your time, I promise.
We will never miss that event, and never miss those North American conventions, just because any leader in this business needs to be there. It's part of doing business. And when it comes to flying from Australia and the investment, it's an investment in our business. So we're really looking forward to catching up to you two up there as well. So Salt Lake City, September 26th to 29th, I think it is. So we're going to wrap up with the final question, which is, how has your lives changed since ASEA?
Well, I told you that where we were at when we were introduced to this company, the future didn't look very bright. It looked pretty bleak. We were facing possibly a foreclosure on our home. And we don't now. We don't fear for our future. We don't fear for our elderly years coming, or the legacy for our children, or what we would be able to do rather than leave them a bunch of bills. That now the bills will be what we call dollar bills instead of monthly bills or debt. And the financial freedom that it's given us to make decisions, to do just like we just did going to South Africa. We know God's called us to do things, and that's one of the, to really be able to financially do what you feel called to do as well, to fulfill prophecy that's been told over you of things that you know you're supposed to do, and to be able to fulfill it and do it. The thing is we've been so many places and traveled so much, and we've been able to do so many things that most people, they've only even dreamed of to be able to do. And it's all because, of not just prosperity, but it's because the business takes you there. And that's the wonderful thing, is that we get paid to share the word of this wonderful company and product and the blessings of it all over the world, and it's just going to continue to grow. And it's not just us, anybody that wants to do this, all you got to do is go to work, and pretty soon you can't keep this business in your own backyard if you're going to share it. It's going to jump to other places. It's going to jump across the ocean. It's going to go to other countries, and you're going to have people in your business too in other places. And so with that, you'll have the chance, if you want to go there and work with the people and personally spend the time with them. And so it's just the benefits, again, of being in this type of business. The other thing I guess I'd like to say is, this gave me 2.5 more years with my mother, which were literally blessing years. My own health has changed dramatically. I'm in better health now than I was 7 years ago when I came to this. My eyesight's improved. I'm off of medication that they said I would, and I'd been on it for 30 years, and they told me I'd be on it for the rest of my life. Now I've been completely off with no side effects for 7 years. I think clearer. I don't experience the headaches, the neck aches, and the back aches that I had before, or the knee problems. When I met Ashia, I was having to take pain relievers and wrap my knee at night just to try to get to sleep. And that's all. Whatever this wonderful product's done, whether it's brought repaired nerve endings or whatever that throbbed forever. But I have not had the surgery, and everybody would have expected that in my shape that I wouldn't have ever been able to maintain without having surgery. So yeah, it's been wonderful. So when you say what has it changed for my life, what hasn't it changed for my life? It's been so many wonderful changes, just like you and Bart, to be in business with your life soul partner. I've been in other business partnerships, and I've been burned in every one of them. And this is the only partner I'll ever need or want for the rest of my life, is this one that's sitting next to me. And so it's been wonderful.
Congratulations to both of you on all of your success. Bart and I are definitely better people for knowing both of you. We truly are. And if you hadn't made the decision with Asia, you wouldn't have told Ed and Rebecca. We wouldn't potentially be here experiencing the life that we're experiencing and changing the lives that we're changing. And I'm so glad that your health has completely transformed, because I'm going to bring up the tour dates and let people know that you're going to need the energy to get through these tour dates. It's going to be a really exciting time for all of us down here. We're so grateful that you're coming down to Australia and New Zealand for us. So there's a Bitly link that I'll go through again after the call on our training. But look also on the previous Team Builders Global newsletters for the ticket links. And to let you know, May 16, Christchurch, followed by Auckland, Hobart, Melbourne, then Perth, Cairns, Brisbane and Sydney, May 27th. So get your tickets today. Don't miss out on the opportunity to be there. And want to thank both you and Chuck, Tammi, both you and Chuck, so much for being here. Enjoy your Montana tour. What's the Montana tour that you've got going? 'Cause you've got a lot happening with your Sea business up there right now.
5 cities this week.
Oh
Every
my
night.
gosh.
New
Oh.
city every night.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you both in Sydney and, well, all over Australia. And appreciate your time. Love you both very much, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Us to you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.